So the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Baraka, has filed a lawsuit against Alina Habba for false arrest. And I'm going to be reading a story from MidasNews.com here in just a minute. But folks, I do believe we're going to see more and more of this as time goes on, because right now, like never before, we truly are seeing the weaponization of government. We knew this entire time that Donald Trump getting reelected would just be his revenge tour 2.0. Now, they're absolutely just gleefully enjoying every minute of this. Jesse Waters over on Fox News even talked about how much they're enjoying seeing people on our side locked up. They view this as revenge and retribution. The entire time that Trump was running, they used to say, we've got to put an end to the weaponization of government. We've got to stop going after our political opponents. And the minute Donald Trump got in, they went right for it. And we all knew that they would. We all knew they would try to flip the script and paint everybody they could as a criminal when they themselves were the criminals all along. And it's been so disgusting seeing the January 6th insurrectionists get pardoned and get millions of dollars in lawsuits and get told they're going to be reimbursed for all the stress that it caused them. It's been so sickening to sit back and watch that I hope as we go forward, we see more people who have been wrongfully arrested, wrongfully detained, wrongfully sent out of the country without due process. I hope we see those people get reimbursed and have someone go to bat for them the way that Donald Trump has for these domestic terrorists. But I'm going to read you this article here, and this one's from MidasNews.com by Aaron Parnas. The Newark Mayor Ras Baraka sues interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba for false arrest and malicious prosecution. So Newark Mayor Ras Baraka has filed a federal lawsuit against interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba, alleging false arrest and malicious prosecution following his controversial detainment during a protest at Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Center in May of 2025. On May 9th, 2025, the mayor joined 3 Democratic members of Congress, Representatives Bonnie Watson Coleman, Rob Menendez Jr., and LaMonica McIver, at Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, for an unannounced oversight visit. The facility, operated by the private GEO group under a federal contract, had recently reopened amid concerns over its compliance with local regulations and treatments of detainees. During the visit, Baraka was initially denied entry, but later entered the facility grounds. After exiting back to the public property, he was arrested by federal agents and charged with a misdemeanor of trespassing. The arrest was orchestrated by Alina Habba, a former personal attorney for Donald Trump and current interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. So Baraka's legal team has argued that his arrest constituted selective prosecution, noting that he was the only individual arrested despite the presence of other officials. They contended that he was on public property at the time of his arrest and that the action was politically motivated. Clearly it was. On May 21st, the U.S. magistrate dismissed the trespassing charge, criticizing the prosecution's conduct as rushed and politically driven. They emphasized the importance of impartial justice and warned against the misuse of power for political purposes. So the lawsuit against Habba, in his lawsuit, Mayor Baraka alleges that Habba's actions led to false arrests and malicious prosecution, causing reputational harm and emotional distress. The suit claims that the arrest was part of a broader effort to intimidate and silence critics of the Trump administration's immigration policies. Baraka's attorneys are seeking damages and formal acknowledgement of the alleged misconduct. They argue that the arrest has legal actions were not only warranted, but also violated Baraka's constitutional rights. So again, I really hope that this thing moves forward, because that was really some bullshit, folks. And it's really bullshit that we're seeing Donald Trump just try to get revenge on everybody. And what this really is to all the ones that's like, oh, he's finding corruption out there. These people are breaking the law. No, he was the corruption. And I will make that argument as long as I'm around. He was the corruption. He is the criminal. And just because Jesse and Frank James is now in charge of the railroad, I don't buy into them finding corruption in the railroad. And just because Bonnie and Clyde is now, bankers, I don't take their word for it that the bank is corrupt. I believe that Donald Trump was corrupt. I believe his entire administration is corrupt. And I believe they're just wrongfully going after people because they want to flip the script. They want to take the heat off them, and they want to get revenge. And that's all this is really about, and all it's ever going to be about. They are absolutely enjoying this. They would love for reality shows to be made out of all of this because their viewers and their supporters just absolutely gleefully sit back and watch people be mistreated. I mean, if you go back to the 1990s in the wrestling world, I always make this point. In the 90s, the wrestler Stone Cold Steve Austin, who probably was the GOAT, if we're being fair, he probably was, and I hear he's a really good dude in real life, but that's beside the point. The character Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day, in any other era, would have been booed out of every room in the building. But people loved seeing him kick his boss's ass. People loved seeing him throw middle fingers in the air. They loved seeing him pour beer down his throat. They loved seeing him break every rule in the book. And the more he broke rules, the more they really got off on it. And they really got off on him inflicting pain on some innocent person. And that's the type of people that MAGA are. They're the type of people that loves to sit back and just watch people be arrested and pushed around. And it's a way to flex and then go, see there, that's what you get for arresting us. But there's a big difference between this mayor in New Jersey and the people on January 6th. There's a massive difference. And you can show the two side by side, and you can see that the mayor did nothing wrong. And meanwhile, you had January 6th. And I will always keep bringing that up. Some people say I talk about it too much. Some people applaud me for it. Some people say I talk about it too much. I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm never going to let it be forgotten. I'm always going to point at it when they try to say they're for the rule of law. Or they try to say that they're the Back the Blue party. I'm always going to hold them to account for that. And when we look around and see the people that Trump has had arrested, it is people who won't push his agenda. And that is the true political weaponization of government. When you're going after someone for not upholding your agenda versus you're holding someone accountable for their actions. On January 6th, those people were arrested for their actions. We have their actions on tape. We saw them kicking down the doors. We saw them busting out the windows. We saw them putting their feet on Pelosi's desk. We saw every bit of that. And we're not going to sit back and be gaslit that we didn't. So we saw them being held accountable. These people that Trump's having arrested are people that aren't going with the flow of what he wants to do. And, they're saying, hey, yeah, lock up, Steve Bannon now saying, yeah, lock up Lindsey Graham when he gets back home. Lock him up for going to Ukraine. I mean, it's all about you have to push Donald Trump's agenda. If you don't push his agenda, you could be arrested. You could be locked away. That's what we're up against. And that is straight out of any dictator's playbook out there. So when he said he would govern like a dictator on day one, he meant it. That's one promise he kept, probably the only promise he's going to keep. And people like us, reasonable people, have to continue to stand up for people and continue to stand up for people like the mayor. I don't know. I really don't believe in us looking for a knight in shining armor. I really don't believe that. I know a lot of people's like, well, Brando, who do you got picked for 2028? Hey, it's a long ways away still. There's a lot that has to be done. I really don't think that it's about one person saving us. I don't think it's a matter of looking over and seeing one particular person and going, oh, that's going to be the one that's going to come in and save the day. I think we have to save the day. And I think we have to stand up for each other. And I think we have to stand up for those when they come after them. I really believe when they come after one, they come after all. And so I think we have to stand up. We can't sit back and wait for a 2008 Obama to come along. I really don't believe in that. I think we have to be that 2008 Obama. We have to be the ones that really brings about true change. And we have to be the ones that stands up against this authoritarianism. We have to continue to fight back. We can't let these people win. We can't let them have control of this narrative forever because we can't let the history books be written that these people were the heroes in the story. They weren't. They were the criminals. They were the insurrectionists. They were the domestic terrorists. And that's the boat they will always belong in. That's where they belong in the history books. And I want to make sure if I have anything to do with it at all, I'm going to be one that's going to be pointing and saying that's what they were. I'm never going to let them off the hook. And so I know some people says I talk about it too much, but I will never forget that day. And I will never let the people who orchestrated that day be heroes. And I will never sit back while a mayor gets picked on and think that that's okay.